They're giving me 3,000 potentially. Potentially, fingers crossed. We're knocking on wood that
For
I
what?
win. For blood donations, because they're doing a little raffle thing. They're like, hey, we will pay for your gas because we are super low on blood at the moment. Please give us your blood. Like, we will enter you in for a raffle for $3,000 on a gift card. I'm like, I would love that.
What if every blood drive was just a Kindred scheme?
You know, it probably is.
I was just going to say.
What if?
Oh, Jesus.
There's some Ventru with very specific chase who is just emailing me constantly like, I need that fucking B-neg blood, baby girl, please. Please come in.
Alrighty. The following show takes place in a world of darkness and explores narratives of personal horror. This story is a work of fiction and is not official World of Darkness material. Many of the themes are portrayed from a place of empathy but may be uncomfortable to some listeners. Episodes may contain coarse language, sexual content, mental and emotional abuse, violence, mental illness, and blood. Listener discretion is advised. Portions of the material are copyrights and trademarks of Paradox Interactive AB and are used with permission. All rights reserved. For more information, please visit worldofdarkness.com.
Alright, what is up, chat gang? I am the magical Mr. Mephisto. Welcome to part 22 of Milwaukee by Night, Endless Elegy. We're calling tonight Holding On. Last week ended on, well, an interesting note. Well, I guess before we do that, we got to do our player intros, don't we? I'm sorry. So the person who's potentially doomed cast tonight to certain death is played by one of my favorite people on the planet, Abby. How's it going, Abby?
You said that with such aggression.
Look at that segue there, though.
That was gorgeous. Hi, I'm Abby. I'm your local Indigenous nerd, and I talk about Indigenous nerdery on the internet, and also apparently I'm doing some writing projects, but you can keep an eye on that on the twitter.com. And you know who's apparently on Twitter, but also not on Twitter? It's like it's a Schrodinger's Twitter account, if you ask me, but Sam.
Oh, the throwing to people intros. Oh, less work. I have to do better. How's it going?
We do that on Exquisite Corpse. It's great.
Nice work. Nice. Well done. I'm Sam. I'll be playing Cass, Malkavian. And, I don't like Pixie's sire very much. No.
Now, who are you going to throw to?
Speaking of people with bad sires, Charlotte.
To be fair, I don't know who he is, so...
That makes him bad.
He's a deadbeat sire.
Or he's done me a favor and fucked off right away. I mean...
Sounds like an abandoned kid.
Hey?
Sounds like an abandoned child.
Yeah. But I mean, in the meantime, I've got foster sire Sal to step into that role. Yeah, I am Charlotte. I am playing Sera the Lasombra tonight. If you want to find anything that I do on the internet, you can probably find it on Twitter at Foxfire22, and I think Andrew's about to die.
We broke him.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of reading chat. I'm so sorry.
What has chat said?
Never anything good.
I'm just going to wait for the intro to get finished at least, but it's Abby also hates Baja Blast, and I only heard a little bit of like potato salad as I was walking back to my computer, and so I could only assume there is some like liquid hot magma take out there about Baja Blast and potato salad that's just waiting for me when I'm editing this video.
If there isn't, there will be now.
Let us continue.
Yes.
But allow us to continue. I'm sorry. Thanks, Kicker, for reminding me of Baja Blast.
I'm going to pass it on to Scott.
That's unfortunate. My name is Scott. I'll be playing Ben Sahar, the Tremere, who finds himself in trouble constantly without much effort. And my partner in crime in getting into trouble with little effort is Ty over there. Was it Tyromancer at one point? The man with no name? The man with many names? All the names?
Shortest name, 2 letters, and most descriptors after it. I am Ty, and I play Salvatore, formerly of Clan Hikata, caitiff by choice. You can find me on the Twitterverse at FatKidSports. And I don't have any good segue, but we have an incredible guest joining us again this week. Joe, gonna hand it off to you for your introduction.
Oh wow. Okay. Hey everybody, my name is Joe, better known as DJ Torador, Nolafanger on Twitter. That's NOLA_Fanger, like Fang Banger from True Blood. That's where I got it. And I am playing Jorvik. Well, they don't know his last name, but I'll say it. Jorvik Hammercrash, the Ventru Jarl Viking, who is so really sitting on his phone looking at poggers. Never heard that term before, even before he went to sleep. So yeah, so we can't wait to see what hijinks are ensued. So yeah.
Oh, I was informed that there will be at least one shenanigan, but I've never seen shenanigans singularly. There are shenanigans always come in multiples.
Just one.
I agree.
As a treat.
Just one shenanigan.
It's all I have the appetite for.
Time is now, old man. There will
You're
be
in the
shenanigans.
wrong game if you only like have the appetite for one shenanigan.
And thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah, right on. All right, so as I started to recap there, last week we ended with Cass, the Malkavian, in a bit of a precarious situation. No thanks in small part to Pixie, the Nosferatu, who promises she's not trying to get Cass killed. But is she really in her right mind under such an intense blood bond? A question that I'm sure everyone will be asking themselves as tonight's events unfold. So Cass run into Thompson, Pixie's sire, who we learned in so many ways was also the sire of Sundown, making Pixie a much lower generation than she initially realized, and her beast and blood confirmed the quip from the no longer with us for really real Sundown now. The rest of the Coterie, on the other hand, had met up with Jorvik, our aforementioned Ventru Jarl, and head of York Technologies, a building rather large, well decorated with a great neon sign. The Coterie's not really sure why they didn't notice it there before, but right in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, right in the business district, right down a couple blocks from the Pfizer Forum, the home of the Milwaukee Bucks. And had essentially agreed to enter the political situation of Milwaukee after remaining Camarilla but neutral. Camarilla and a citizen. Again, importantly, Decker, has a thing about citizens, but staying out of the politics. A feat that few Ventru can really resist for long anyway. Now, just to kind of reset, some stuff that had happened maybe off camera or that didn't quite make the feeds. Jorvik actually has been hiring Thin Bloods with his business and giving them sort of a second chance and a safe haven. What maybe Jorvik hasn't relayed to the Coterie as of yet, as he collected a boon from them, was that some of his employees have been going missing in this, what the others from a previous session came to know as a street drug called the Red Mist. Sort of, if they're all linked, but they found the Thin Bloods at one of the foundries for this chemical, this drug. And they're really not certain what it is. They just have a street name, a rather suggestive street name, because there's also some weaponry that shares the same name in typical edgy fashion, right? He named the really hard stuff after the really military-grade shit. I'm certain we'll get into that a little bit this evening. But first, we find ourselves shutting my door. Excuse me.
Oh, is there gonna be a Dobby ambush?
Always those doors getting in the way of fun.
You know what else gets in the way of fun?
Jorvik, because he has my Thin Blood workforce. Competition. Nobody knows my plans on that yet, though. But it's now competition. Imagine that.
Capitalism. You gotta hit him with that boss babe pitch.
Free market.
So, we find ourselves, our vision, in sort of omniscient sense, in a sort of pale yellow waiting room. It's decorated in simple, like wooden and metal chairs. No technology to speak of besides, some incandescent, older coil-style light bulbs. And the whir and hum of the electricity that powers them that hints at their age as we follow some of the bulbs down a hallway. We hear the various discordant cries of the injured and mentally ill. We see a sign that says Psych Ward, unceremoniously labeled. And as we walk past the various sort of security doors meant to keep patients in their rooms for their own safety, right? We catch glimpses of the uncomfortable steel beds and cots that they would find themselves on, some of them strapped. It is daylight out, so the doors are open, for their own good too. They need some sunlight when you're being treated for mental health, right? Mental health was primitive back in this time period we find ourselves in, but they weren't completely, well, who knows? We see an individual gibbering in a wheelchair, looking down plainly, has legs, but talking as if there are none, screaming about the pain and talking about war. And we catch the conversation of some orderlies as they rush off past us. One pulling out a steel and glass syringe, rushing down the hallway to some commotion, and you can hear some steel trays being knocked over, down, and echoing down the way. Finally, we reach a room at the end. The door opens. We see two figures in doctors' lab coats, wearing odd-looking masks for the time or any other time. And we see a patient strapped to a bed with all manner of bags, vials, beakers hanging around. One of them says a line that will ring familiar to one of our Coterie members. Up the dosage. Make sure he feels nothing. Cass, you find yourself on this uncomfortable steel slab, unable to move your arms. You can see the fluid bubble above your forehead like a chemical halo. And then you see what I can only describe as a simple ice pick coming toward your eye. You fix on the silvery point of it. You look up where one doctor should be. You see Thompson. Beside him, you see a name tag. It says Peter Resner. And then you're holding this syringe, or then you're holding this surgical ice pick, looking down at this unfamiliar soldier on a gurney. And we're back in Francis's apartment. We're staring down Thompson, unaware. Suddenly, we're all completely unaware of whatever dementation, whatever imprint from the cobweb we just glimpsed, or whatever unreliable narration was just visited us from our evil ST. It's as if it never happened. Maybe it did. In another life, another world. But what is happening right now is Cass is staring down Thompson. Thompson's staring back at him. And he has just expressed to you that you're a real thorn in my side there, kid. Got big plans for Milwaukee, you see. You and your little ragtag group here. Getting in the way. At first it was cute. Keep my Pixie fed. Keeping her mostly out of trouble. But now's the part where I gotta get my hands messy. You see his nails begin to like turn pitch black and elongate a little bit. Of course, there's always a time for one last smoke before I rub you out.
Thompson. Just because you have a face like a bag of mashed up assholes doesn't mean you have to act like one. Anybody ever tell you that?
My ma once. Before I choked her out.
She always did like that.
This is where I would like to remind Cass that you don't have your colt. But is it possible you've grabbed anything else?
I mean, Cass would have had a substitute weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wouldn't have been the Colt, but it would have been a weapon that he... Yeah.
Okay. Want to roll a luck check?
Sure. That is only a 3.
Yeah, you got like a Glock 20. You know, pretty classic, just 20 millimeter pistol. Gets the job done in a pinch.
The clock wasn't exactly what Cass had in mind here.
I was just asking.
Is it just Thompson and me? I forget. Is it just Thompson and Cass, or are there others in here?
In our scene, it was just Thompson and Cass. That doesn't mean you're alone, however. Go ahead and roll a wits awareness for what might be hidden the normal ways.
Okay. That's 3 successes.
3, you said?
Yeah.
There's no one there's no threats. There's no any sign of anything in Francis. Sort of it's an upper apartment. I think I've described it previously, but it's an upper sort of single room style apartment. It's got a bathroom, kitchen. What do they call them? Efficiency apartments, right? You can also roll your sense the unseen.
Is that wits plus aspects then?
Wits plus aspects.
Not rolling well tonight. Only 2 successes.
No, you're completely alone. Or at least, it looks like you are.
Are you going to be able to do this to yourself there, Thompson?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
He's like, you think you're going to be able to do this here yourself, Thompson?
What?
Surprised. Rats usually travel in packs.
Oh, I won't be lowering myself to your level. Those claws he grew, just to pronounce a snap. And it's at this point that you've failed your wits awareness that I'm still going to let you roll initiative because you are prepared Kindred and you are a player character. So I'm going to allow you to roll initiative as 2 unseen presences sort of leap at you from behind.
Okay.
Once you've rolled your initiative, roll another wits awareness.
And remind me, please, initiative is...
We usually, it's resolve... Oh, God. Hang on, I keep opening this little thing here for a reason. I had it on Frenzy for some reason, but... Composure awareness.
Composure awareness, okay.
Composure awareness.
Alright. 1 success. Man, I gotta do something with these dice.
Throw those dice in the trash.
Yeah.
Jill for 1 million years.
And then I want you to roll that wits awareness.
Three successes.
All right. So these unseen presences are leaping in at you. You can, just make out the ruffling and the sort of trail of hodgepodge clothes and shawls and stuff like that they're draped in. But through the window opposite, sort of over the shoulder of Thompson, you see a small sort of brown dot increasing in size, clumsily making its way toward you. Thompson pointedly lights a cigarette by striking a match with one of his nails, taking his turn. I'm going to enjoy watching you die, Cass. Again. and we're going to cut to the Coterie.
Baddie's got me. Baddie's got me.
Got the initiative established here when we cut back to you. But we are back outside of York Tech, as I recall. Or no, where did we left off in York Tech? It was had just essentially closed the scene. I'll let our guest vampire and advance the scene. Where do you suppose the last session's dealings have led y'all? I was under the impression y'all were getting ready to go do a thing, but we kind of left it nebulous as to what that might have been.
Yes, we did. Jorvik will be on his phone looking up poggers,
Okay.
waiting, and then he'll kind of look up. So, Abby, correct? Pixie, correct.
Pixie, yeah.
Yes. It says poggers means it can be for anything.
Huh. Well, that's news to me. I always use it positively, but I guess you can use it for whatever you want. I'm not going to agree on it.
I think it's pretty interesting. I'll try to add that to the list. And you'll see him take out a pen and he'll... Okay.
Pix will try to get a little peek at the list as he writes it down.
Okay.
If Pix rolls a wits awareness, what are some of the other terms or slang she might see on the list?
Oh boy. Let's see how that roll goes first. Alright, awareness. Wits. That's 5 successes.
Wow. Actually reading it through the paper. Turn up for what? Bangers. Bars. Pots. What else is on this thing? Because I actually wrote some of it down.
That's amazing.
Bangers, thoughts. What clan is Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, that... Pix will just silently store that away for later. Yeah, I'm gonna have some Google searches to make.
Fantastic. So the Coterie has an issue. Cass is about to get blood hunted. They're currently unaware of his situation regarding Thompson. But they do know that this blood hunt may be called. They have an opportunity to deal with that in some manner. They have this video that Philip and Raphael have sort of taken a copy of, and they're off. It takes a moment to analyze this sort of thing. You have a little bit of some time. The night is young, and this video may take a moment to analyze.
Okay.
Sal, Ben, Sera, anything of great import or urgency that you think would help shore up the case that you could maybe help Cass with, or maybe does anything come to your mind that you need to or wish to get done within, say, this next hour or so?
I think, so it's not one of Sal's kind of controlled neighborhoods, but it is nearby. Sal and has dispatched his guys to see what they can find out. I think immediate priority is making sure Cass is protected. Finding him and not lingering about. Sal could give a shit about video and technology. Like if somebody's coming for Cass, he would rather be there to fight than any use of figuring out if a digital video was scrubbed by Arjun Shah because he's an asshole.
I don't know, maybe you could have a resident blood mage. Like, look at it and maybe determine if there's some kinds of magics that could be used to make you look like another person.
Ben Sahar probably has some decent ideas already, but Ben Sahar, you can go ahead and roll like an intelligence occult, or an investigation, or a research. What's it called? Why am I having bad brainsies today, everybody? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Ben, do the dice rolling thing with the thing and the other thing.
Yeah, you
together.
could do. You could also do like an academics or an investigation intelligence if you choose. It denotes on what type of academics you're more doing some book learning. I'm sure York Tech has some good resources you could tap into. Of course, if that's all right with our Jarl here.
If he
Well, I
asks,
also, based on my conversation with Pix leading up to here, I kind of want to confirm that Cass made it. Because we know he went there, but we haven't heard from him, and because I was kind of suspicious of this to begin with, there was part of me that almost turned around and left the minute Pix told me where he was going. It was just almost like, are you fucking kidding me? So I might do some research and try to confirm with Cass, make sure Cass is okay, even if it's just on the phone that he beats with his forehead and says, okay, or K.
All right. Cass, I want to keep things suspenseful for our coterie here. So I'm going to have you and me roll on some dice I'm going to slide into your DMs, all right?
All right.
I'll do that. I'll take care of that shortly. But I'm beginning to get a litmus test on where this scene is going here as I do the coterie's thoughts. Sera, where's Sarah's head at?
Nothing really springs to mind, except for calling people at inopportune times, like she is making a habit of.
Mm-hmm.
But Ben has that one covered. She's just going to step back for the moment and see what everyone else does. She's not sure what to do in this case.
Okay. I mean, she is new to this, especially the politics side of Vampire, and she's barely got her hands on her mind wrapped around the vampire part of being a vampire, right?
No, now there's politics.
Storyteller,
Yes.
do I notice anything off about Sera?
Apart from the shadows, sort of draped around her or pulling toward her a little bit, Sera seems to be just sort of taking it in. She seems. Well, I guess I'll let you say what Sera's like body and posture seems to be. I overtly from the last session, she has this unconscious sort of ability, that shadow cloak, where the shadows seem to sort of just stretch and make her seem just a little bit more threatening and sinister. But beyond that, how's Sera like kind of carrying herself in this office? As the coterie scrambles a little bit, as Pix just completely stares up over onto the notebook on Jorvik's desk to like.
The little kid, you got games on your phone?
What's Sera's posture and demeanor?
As everyone's talking and trying to figure out what to do and doing their own thing, I'd probably take a step back just to kind of get out of the way for now. Let things happen, and if there's an opportunity for me to be able to chime in or offer some insight, I would, but for now, getting out of the way of the adults, so to speak.
Okay. So, I think that Jorvik can pick out that Sera seems a bit uneasy, despite her cadence and even the I say quite frankly kind of power emanating from her. She seems perhaps a little uncertain. She's kind of looking, trying to make herself useful, but not get in the way, right? And you can pick up on that. It doesn't really seem odd, but it is noteworthy, right? You have some management and stuff like that. You've helped run some raids or counter raids or whatever, and you know when people you know that look of the calm before the storm. Sera is definitely that calm before the storm.
Darling.
It would take me a second to realize that he was talking to me. Oh, yeah, sorry.
You have no need to apologize. Something seems to have been troubling your mind. Are you all right?
I think I'm okay.
Think or no?
I don't know much right now, these days.
What does that mean?
Well, you say you just woke up.
Yeah.
How long were you sleeping for?
I can't remember. Oh, I will say this. I've been around modern times. The last pickup cellular device that I had a red BlackBerry.
When did Blackberries first come out?
90s. Late 90s was the keyboard one, right? Or was that early aughts?
I think early aughts?
Early aughts? Yeah, like the Razor was the early aughts, and
the little tactile and a little ball you could roll.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Obama had a BlackBerry, and the Secret Service had a problem with him keeping his BlackBerry. Right? Yeah. He had to switch.
Yes,
that was like the whole thing. Yeah, that's right. You're looking at a decade or maybe even two. You've been asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was the last thing I remember before I took the big snooze. And he kind of looks at the notebook. Yes, the big snooze.
I've been at this for like a week and a half max. So.
Are you serious? You're a baby.
Yeah, you could say that.
Who is your sire?
No idea. That's on the list.
Was it a creepy thing in the night? You know, the blah blah thing.
A Dracula.
I see you have watched Hotel Transylvania. Good movie.
I have. It's not very good.
Well.
Dracula's. You don't want to talk about my film criticisms. There was so much shit that I seen around in this place. It was ridiculous. But, well, it had its moments. It ebbed and flowed like the oceans, or left a wake that I just wasn't quite sure about. Anyway, but
it wasn't pleasant.
I'm sorry to hear that. It's unfortunate. At least I was asked.
There's that.
Yeah. So, I'm going to take it from this aura that you have, that you are a shadow dancer.
From what I've been told.
Very, very interesting clan. Very sneaky, if I'm not mistaken. The last time I encountered one was before they joined the crown. And you'll see him kind of like roll his eyes, and heaven decided to let them come into the Camarilla. I'm not sure. Do you know who Kevin is?
X kind of from your side will just chirp up, "Oh yeah, Prince of Chicago," and just immediately go back to she's clicking around on her phone.
I
One
would
that
look at Pixie at that. It's like, no,
one that doesn't sort of like me.
Oh shit! What'd you do to get kicked out or whatever?
I didn't get kicked out. Little bastard. He's not a bastard. He does know his father.
Must be nice.
Let's just say I'm competition. I carry the bigger sack than he does, so just know that. But anyway, it's going to take a little bit for this information to find out. I am about to jump into politics, which I've been trying to keep my beautiful ebony skin out of, but I have to get something from you guys as well if I'm going to do this and put my neck on the line. So, actually, since before we get started, so you don't know who your sire is, you're new to this, about a week. Have you fed? Do you know how to feed?
Yes, I have learned how to do that at the very least.
Good job. I was like, I can give you a quick training course. It doesn't take long. But if you know how to feed, you're right on target. You just know, don't make a mess. Don't break the masquerade. Are you aware of the masquerade?
I am, yes. Sal
aware?
has been a teacher in those regards.
Good job, Sal. Very good. About a week ago that this took place, were you on your way to school or, going to a friend?
I was on the way home one night, coming back from a protest.
Oh, you're a protesting person. What are they protesting now? Is it Wall Street?
No, this one was women's rights and body autonomy.
Oh, those are great things. See, back home, women and men were equal, but this country just ridiculous. That's unfortunate. It sounded like it was a really positive event. These poggers. Poggers. Yes?
I personally wouldn't say it's poggers, but body rights, poggers. Hell yeah. Pog champ, even.
Pog champ, Emil.
See, there's variations on it. There's like weird champ. There's, oh god, I gotta show you Twitch. You're gonna love it.
Oh my god. Oh, is Twitch based? I heard this word.
So based. It is.
All right, I used it right.
Actually, you have your Twitch Prime. You can follow your favorite streamer on Twitch with your Amazon. Twitch.
Yeah, all those young men who do the what's it called, hot tub streams.
And then we all just stare at the camera simultaneously. It's like the worst meta plug in the universe. So
hot tub streams on this thing.
Oh, so many. Every taste, every flavor, and video games too, if that's up your alley. I personally watch the newer ones that come out. Haven't had time to game myself.
One of the things I bought God of War. Really fun game. A lot of it is a lie, but a pretty fun game. I know some of that stuff that they're talking about, but I'm like, you've never seen Milner. You've never actually seen the Seven Realms. Oh, man. But it was a good start. Do you require more food or?
Oh, no. Stuffed.
So as you sort of talk with Pixie and Sera, Salvatore, are you calling up Jimmy? Is this a putting in the call to Jimmy moment? Or is this
Yeah, as time goes by, I would ask to use a phone if there's a landline or a payphone.
Philip has like a number of those holsters on his belt, and just like it's clean, he says. He just like a gunslinger draws one off and hands it to you.
So yeah, Sal would definitely make the call.
It's a Razor, since we had the BlackBerry earlier. It's a Motorola Razor.
Perfect. That might have been the last one Sal had.
Calling Jimmy. You mentioned that when this stuff goes down, you don't see yourself being more on the politics side of things. Are you planning a field trip to go to Francis's apartment? Is that what I'm picking up from you and Ben Sahar?
Sal at least would certainly head that direction.
Okay. Ben Sahar was
I think
the same.
So would Ben.
Okay. Sera and like Raphael's over like showing his favorite hot tub streamers, like it's like called Twinkie and the Bear or something like that, like and so it's like this hot tub streamers or whatever, and they're from like Southern California or something. I really hope I didn't like vague book my way into like talking about an actual stream. Sorry, secure the dosh, secure the bag anyway. Right. You know how, everyone. Raphael's in the process of showing you Twitch on your laptop, and just finishes the really awkward like, oh, Twitch Prime thing, and that's Sera and Abby, yourself over here. Salvatore basically calling for Jimmy and in so many words you pick up his intent to head to Francis's apartment. And Ben Sahar probably at this point like over there like, well, I guess we could RP that between you.
Yeah.
Because Ben Sahar's hasn't trusted this for a while, but we were also trying to preserve your voice the last couple of weeks, so let's have Ben Sahar one of those like you thinking what I'm thinking type moments, and we'll pick up there as you sort of having this sort of sidebar conversation.
So, Jorvik, that favor, don't worry, I'm good about that kind of thing. You can always here. Actually, can I have your phone? I'll put my contact in there. Call me for whatever. Really, we understand it's a big deal. We usually first point of contact here.
Hot Tub Uncle Iro. I think I just have a new favorite streamer if this exists. Like just drinking tea and being like prophetic and fatherly.
Jorvik will pass you his phone.
Yeah. Pixel just quickly type in her info.
Don't swipe.
Oh, gotcha. Of course. Pix has a few of those pictures. She understands. She puts her name, Pixie, with, little fairy emoji, just passes it back.
So this
I'm going to send you a chip.
Oh my god.
And it's Scooby-Doo saying zoinks, and it's just stupid. But yes, Sera.
This favor, do you have something in mind already?
Yes. A couple of my workers have gone missing. I don't like that.
Like just not show up for their shift, or
not show up for their shifts for quite a bit of time.
Enough to warrant a missing persons report?
Pictures of these people?
I'm sorry?
Do you have pictures of the missing people?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Look.
Because we found a bunch of missing people. They could be some of them could have been Jorviks.
Philip, do you have those photos of those missing ones?
Right, the facility.
Philip is on it with a dossier with 2 photos and like rough description. Basically, they're resumes and applications, like with a couple things redacted on that might be company sensitive, but the basics, and then like a couple photos. You can keep those. We have copies.
Gotcha. I can cross-reference this with some databases. Thanks. And Pix actually, goddamn, like, this is more than my apps can usually do, but...
So,
As
Exploit
it's,
database, you're going to look in for a secret occult experiment by Dr. Mortis. Where are you going to look up those people are missing?
Missing persons databases, family news stories. Someone usually.
Also, it seems like you guys need a ride. If you do, you guys need a ride somewhere. I'm free tonight. I can tag along. I have a limo.
Oh shit!
I have a fleet of them.
as that discussion's happening, Sal would hang up the phone, and the last thing you would hear him say is, "Get here as fast as you can. If anybody tries to stop you, kill them." And he hangs up.
What is your rush?
Cass is missing.
We don't know Cass is missing.
Well, we don't need to wait for a ride. Then we can go to my truck. Let's go.
Cute one is missing.
Or, yeah, Cass is not missing, but in danger.
He'll look to Pixie. Is that the one you were going to set me up? The number.
Yeah, but what do you mean in danger? He was just going to Francis's place. That would be fine. The hunt hasn't been called
That'd
yet.
be a good place of danger.
A hunt?
But no, I don't believe it's been called
Well,
yet.
we sit here waiting. I guarantee Shaw is in Decker's fucking ear.
Fucking Decker.
These things don't take much time.
We should go, and you can have Jimmy meet us there.
So, yeah, Sal called Jimmy back. And
Do you not want a limo ride? Your destination?
Pix just hopefully looks between Ben.
I'm going to possibly murder somebody. I'm not going to the prom.
Is it murder if it's in self-defense?
And
I'm going to self-defense myself all over their face. You bet.
make sure you clean up afterwards. You don't want to make a mess.
Right.
I don't leave.
Hey,
So much
you
self-defense
don't-
is going to be happening.
Wait. You don't have to go to a prom in a limousine. I'm just saying I can get you there relatively quickly. And he'll, if Philip is walking past him, he'll kind of like goose him when he walks past. It's like, this guy is a really good driver. Be safe too.
We should just
Well,
find Cass.
how much time do you think we have?
Probably not much, if he's already not answering.
All right. And Jordan will stand up.
We cut real quick to Cass having like this Nosferatu who basically smells like garbage. They have pale white skin with green, almost decayed-looking veins coming through, bald head. The sort of telltale signs of deformity, the ears, the facial features, stuff like that, and then just draped in these sort of rags and robes. Just like currently pull him into a like half Nelson and rip a chunk out of his neck as Cass's cell phone goes like flying across the room and shatters into the. Oh, well, we'll not have it shattered because he put a case on it. I remember it was the Hello Kitty, and then what was it, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle case or something like that? I can't remember from last scene. Smacks into it and like falls under Francis's like. Falls beside his like mattress or something like that. Thompson, meanwhile, we don't quite catch him in the scene. We just see that one like quick burst of moment, and then we're back in the office yet.
All right. I think we're ready to go, right?
Yeah, let's hop in. Time is of the essence, and I would rather not have to engage in Decker's hunt.
He's standing up. You'll press the button. Angelica, hold on my night calls, please.
Do you want us to come with, sir, or should we stay here and tell you when the video's done? Asks Raphael.
Raphael, you stay. Hope you come with me.
Yes, sir, he says, and he like puts the razor back in his like holster. Let me grab my coat. And he grabs a blue a blazer jacket to match the blue suit pants he's wearing, and sort of brown loafer shoes, slim fit, showing off his deceptive musculature underneath the suit.
Jorvik will kind of open a drawer, pull like two hand axes. He'll kind of stuff them in his jacket, and you hear the clank clank of them. Sounds like a party. We're going on a raid.
Man, wait until I teach him about Twitch raids. He's gonna love it.
Should I grab, sir, should I grab, and then he mentions your axis name, but I forgot what you called it. I'm sorry. Thought I wrote it down.
Don't worry about it right now, but yes.
What was its name?
Go back. Did I name it?
Maybe not. I think you mentioned, like, I've got a name Jessica just sitting here out in space, and I don't think you named your axe Jessica.
It's not Jessica.
Tree hewer.
Yeah, but yeah, he says and like the tape skips or whatever when he says the name of the axe. And, we'll edit it in post. So he grabs it and he puts it in in like an attaché case.
Yes, perfect.
And carries it over his shoulder.
Such a good lad. Let's go.
You see him grab a second duffel bag out from a secured location somewhere in the office as you all head down your private elevator, which can forego the lobby and head into the more secured facilities beneath, if you wish.
Yes.
You're going to take the back exit. Are you riding in a limo, or are you taking something more discreet? Maybe a town car?
The town car will be all right.
You have open to like one of your many private garages, and we see a small sample of some vehicles from out the ages, with like an old, like the Chevron logo of an old Coupe de Ville from like 1950. Maybe there's like a Ford Model T in there just for show, just to flex lightly. And yeah. And then like a fewer, and he grabs the like silver Audi, a little bit more spacious. It's the 4-door, the sort of like the plus size sedan.
It's a hybrid.
Jorvik's a larger gentleman, so he likes the extra legroom of the. They only made 200 of these. Philip says as he's like whip as he's hitting the button.
And Jorvik will open the back door and like, ladies.
Meanwhile, Sal and Ben head out the front, like head down through the lobby. How's that going? Jimmy's here.
Yeah, the truck
I'm gonna take my truck.
Redirect Jimmy.
Okay.
Yeah, Sal has a thing about riding with anyone not named Jimmy. So, no offense.
Hard to ride with Jimmy when you smash his vehicle, though.
Well, I didn't do it.
We cut to like Cass's head currently being smashed into like the coffee table, and cut back to the coterie.
It's just, I don't know how necessarily, if there are mechanical rules for it, but Jimmy's driving legitimately violating all laws and ignoring traffic lights.
So
reckless driving in Milwaukee is like a thing. It happens all the time, and you rarely get pulled over. But
they're too busy. The cops in Milwaukee are too busy, like brutalizing various civil rights groups to worry about the traffic laws.
Tearing down the homeless encampments.
Tearing down like homeless. Yeah, be just being general agents of capital and shitbags.
Policing.
Right. Oops, did I let my anarchy out again?
It's okay. If one pulls us over, he's getting eaten, so it's okay.
All right. Gotta put my anarchism back in its cage real quick. All right, we're back. You had done a Jimmy. Is Sera rolling with Jorvik or Salvatore and Jimmy?
All right.
I won't be offended.
When the group starts to split up, I'll be looking back and forth, uncertain of where to go. And I'm going to quickly let the dice handle that one.
Yeah, you have Salvatore at the one elevator type moment, and Jorvik over at his. And in the hustle and bustle to sort of gather the attaché cases, the axes suit up and stuff like that.
Jorvik.
Okay.
Hell yeah, the cool group.
So we have the ladies moment where Jorvik gestures to the backseat of the silver Audi town car. Hybrid, only 200 of them.
Jeez.
Just a small flex, or weird flex. That's one for the journal, right?
It is.
And outside, Jimmy pulls up in one of those color change paint, black red Escalades. Recently procured. It's the newest, I don't know if they're on the 2022s or 2023s, but it would be the newest model. It is tricked out and it has been reinforced. Some favors were called in for some military grade. It's not quite what are they. Jimmy pulls up. He's like, "Hey, boss, you like the new wheels? I got the El Presidente suite on it." And you can see it's not quite as good actually as the President's. I hear that thing's worth $1 billion or something, but still pretty nice. It'll take all the way up to a 50 cal shot, no problem. And certainly, and he looks around, and he sees some just normal people walking by. Certainly some lupines. He says.
I regret my choices now.
Excellent. Like I said, we don't stop for anything.
All right. 1 second. Got to resolve the next round here.
Can't wait for some Freebird to be playing as we go down this street.
No, actually, the song playing in the background is Crazy Blues by Mamie Smith and the Jazz Hounds. It's 1920, playing on an old wax record somewhere. What's it called? The two types of sounds.
The gramophone?
No, there's the two types of sounds. Because you have... Not that...
Double bass.
One means in scene, one means out of scene. It's playing in scene, Francis's iPod is kicked on or something like that, and we hear it coming through weirdly. But then we're also seeing bits of Cass's dementation leak out, and sometimes we get glimpses of the psych ward clinic that folks will remember from the second or third session. More in its time period, less anachronistic this time. This is around the time that y'all sort of get heading towards Francis's apartment all in time, are all all together, and you can carry on a conversation if you'd like, Jorvik and Pix and Sera as you're en route.
I think Pix is just explaining the whole situation. Just oh yeah, Francis, he's this guy I met when I first came to Milwaukee. It was kind of a low-key thing, whatever. He delivers pizzas, he gives me rides. I've been helping him pay for rehab. Oh, pardon?
Was this a hookup?
Oh, no, no. Oh, my. No, he has a girlfriend. I don't think I'm his type.
Both kind of smirk. What does that mean? Does that matter?
No. I mean, he's nice, but I don't think he sees me like that. I mean, I'm acquired taste. But yeah, I help him pay for rehab, and well, I had some business with him tonight, and I sent Cass out to go see him after we got the news, and well, just I mean, it looks bad. I essentially assisted a fugitive, but I think Decker will understand, right?
Do
Right?
you want to know?
No, but
Injured, maimed, mutilated. Cut off his feet.
he just keep him safe, please.
Okay.
He means a lot to me.
And any thoughts from you, Sera?
Thoughts, no. Questions, yes. How old are you really?
Ooh.
Do you really want to know?
Oh, I do. I do.
Pix just like kind of cringes because like the last time she asked Thompson about his age, she got a talking to. So she's just like, oh my god, you don't just ask a vampire their age.
Well,
Someone's asked me that question. I'll just say this. You ever heard of England?
yes. Yeah, I think I have once or twice.
I was around when there were just a bunch of loose kingdoms.
So like Mercia, Northumbria.
Yes. I have a city named after me in England.
Which one is that?
Well, my name is what the city in England called York is today.
Shit. Were you like us then, or were you still heart beating and all that?
Heart beating and all that, you know, pillaging Christians and their bullshit. Little monasteries.
Not much has changed.
Yes, they are still the same, even though I thought I got rid of all of them. They just grow like.
Look, come down the Navajo Nation. We'll have to talk about Mormons. Whew.
Oh, the cult people.
Oh yeah, the whole fancy underwear folks. Right on the edge of my reserve.
Oh,
Freaky
understood.
shit.
Why would you have fancy undergarments?
Apparently it keeps you sinless.
Sin.
Stupid.
Oh, come on. Have you not been into a Victoria's Secret lately?
I have.
They're all fancy nowadays.
I'm not going to tell you my proclivities. It's too early to talk about stuff like that.
The FT swears by Brazilian boxer briefs. Red and black, stylish and silk. I'm telling you, you haven't lived.
I do. And
So we're talking like 1900 or the 900s, like 1100 years ago, give or take a few decades.
you're on fire. Come on, not literally on fire.
Yeah.
Look
On
good.
fire with the questions. On track. Barking up the right tree.
I won't chew you out like you said. This Thompson person.
Right.
I
Look,
won't do.
he can be a bit rough around the edges, but Thompson has given me a lot as a sire. He's made me everything that I am now.
This is your sire.
Yeah, he's not as old as you are. I think he said he got embraced sometime right before the market crash, but before Prohibition. He didn't take me too kindly asking about his age.
The rude man. If you're going to make children, you should at least talk to them.
He's been busy. Chicago.
Fucking Chicago every fucking night. It's always about Kevin this and fucking Annabelle and all that bullshit.
Edith doesn't seem too bad from what I've heard from her, but it seems like so much of a mess. Thank God he's handling that side of it. I was just kept here to keep an eye on things.
Really?
Yeah.
What have you found?
Pix would love to say what she's talked about, but I am gonna roll a willpower, subtracting the stuff from my bond.
Mm-hmm. Your bond strength is about what, 3 right now? 4?
Oh, yeah, because I took a big sip earlier.
What was it called?
The suck.
The big
The
suck.
big suck.
Yeah, not to be confused with the forbidden sip.
The big suck.
The forbidden suck, which is Diablerie.
Armory.
Big D. But yeah, that's 2 successes on Pix's part. So you kind of get a hand wavy answer. Oh, just the whole lupine situation, current thing with Clan Nosferatu. You know how we are, clan over clan, all that stuff. And she just has that, like, I am cornered look in her eyes.
I make no judgment about people's clans. If you have your secrets, they're your own. To make sure they don't blow up in your face.
Oh boy.
Oh, Freya. They have, haven't they?
A little. I found out some things, family stuff, but not my own plans. Just a lot of things come unraveled around me, and she looks very pointed. Not pointedly, I would say, but just subtly over at Sera.
Are you?
If I could blush, I would.
Related? I will leave that to Sera if she wants to say how we are not related.
There's some kinship, some chemistry here. What's going on? Please,
I mean, we're not dating. Like, don't get me wrong. I knew her when she was, beaten and all that stuff, but...
Okay.
I don't understand it much yet. Sal's been trying to explain it, but...
The guy with the stick up his ass.
He's nice in
No,
his own way.
Sal, not Ben.
More like a goat up his ass.
I remember doing that with my friends.
Oh,
man.
We hear a phone ringing in this Escalade that is flying. Like, it is... Jimmy's actually a damn good wheelman. Philip is good, but this is how Jimmy earned his stripes in the family. And he's had... I'm not sure how long Philip and Raphael have been Gould respectively, but with Giovanni and Putinesca and stuff like that, like you're usually like a ghoul for a while, and you pay your dues as a ghoul before you get the promotion into the family, right? And he spent that time as a wheelman. Jimmy, on a new set of wheels that he personally spent the last week of like off-camera time supervising, because Sal spoiled him some to make up for the last ride and years of loyalty. This thing is like, it's like an extension of Jimmy, and he is not a driver right now. He is a bare-knuckle boxer, and the city of Milwaukee is his punching bag. He dances around it, like light on the balls of his feet, hook right, jab left, throwing combinations, peeling around corners. This man is putting on a ballet on 4 wheels. It's a thing of beauty. That misogynist prick Charles Bukowski said anything could be an art. With Jimmy, driving's an art. And this black-red color shift Escalade is his brush. There, I blended 4 metaphors there, everybody. You're welcome.
That was
fabulous.
Your palette looks just swirls of word color.
There you go. See, my craft is wordsmithing. And this is Abigail. The other line picks up, and you're holding Jimmy's phone.
Oh, fucking mommy, of course.
Miss Winters.
Oh, Sal, darling. It's been a while. She says, well, suppose it hasn't. And you can hear her give out a light chuckle. I'm going to pretend to have my cigarette on a stick here for her. It helps me get in the mode. She's equal parts Cruella de Vil and the Dread Pirate Roberts. Amazing character.
You remember my friend Cass?
The Malkavian, yeah, I recall.
He's found himself on the shit end of a deal with Decker.
The Haunt, I have heard through some whispers.
I need to protect him, looking for a place he can lay low.
Or any friend of yours, darling.
I will owe you one.
No, this one's on the house, sweetie, for the other night. I have a place in mind.
When I find him, can you send me the address?
I'll be sure it, you get the message as fast as the crow flies.
Thank you.
I must say I didn't expect to be getting under Decker's skin so early, but the idea does tickle me some.
Question. Can Sal... I mean, he's a Bond junkie. He's not going to even try.
You can resist Bond stuff. You have to roll.
You can.
Yeah,
Okay.
Against the Bond strength. You can speak. You can speak plainly too. It's just a matter of if you go against her or go against some of her tenets and stuff like that. Then that's when the Bond's going to kick in.
Okay. Then no. Good. I thought it might make you happy, and undermining Decker, it has an appeal for me as well.
Oh. Do tell, she says.
He listens to Shaw.
Oh, I'm not sure he does, but he likes to let Shaw think he does.
Shaw is an asshole.
You hear her chuckle again.
And if ever Decker's umbrella over him is gone, he will die.
What is this with Shaw you're having?
He questioned my word.
You know, darling, for someone who's been alive as long as you have, or unalive, I suppose, you do have this chip on your shoulder.
Old habits die hard.
Still, if you're still alive, going around getting cross with every vampire who questions your word. I'm looking for longer business operations here, darling.
I've ended up on top so far.
That's why I like you. You're intriguing. Effective. And PKJ is, well, he's taken notice. Never mind pissing off Carlo. That's just bonus for all of us.
I'm sure he'll come calling someday. I've had...
You hear her go to say something, and then you can make out the sort of the lipstick, odd lipstick as she purses her lips on the other side of the line and holds her words in.
I'm debating having the money stop back. There's so much more I could do with it here.
Oh, you're saying so much to Abigail.
I know.
Fucking mama's boy.
You called it at day one. Sal is a simp. That is.
Oh. I wasn't expecting turmoil in the family for at least another, 3 years? 6? Not that I'm paying attention to when the treaty expires or anything.
Yes, I'm hopeful I can wait that long, but I have a business to expand here.
I'm going to speak plainly. A moment here. Salvatore. Darling, everyone in the family's already gotten their plans in motion. I'm worried you're going to be a little late to the party if you don't kick it up a bit. But you didn't hear that from me. Resisted the urge to say, but you didn't hear that from Shadow Mommy.
Everybody wishes they had a Shadow Mommy. It's okay. So Sal will, with that, I hope we talk soon.
I'm sure we will. You can hang up now, she says.
Sal will hang up. He didn't
The
want
Yes,
power move.
mistress.
The power move of telling the other person to hang up now.
Okay.
Like, air horn, ba, girl boss.
I just know she's buying him his Discord Nitro every month. That's big mommy energy.
She is Sal's only Twitch subscriber, and it is not with an Amazon Prime subscription. She gives him that $5 a month the hard way.
We're gonna have to start reading the content warning 3 times now. All right. Okay. We're going to cut to the apartment. Francis's apartment window, it like explodes open as we see these two forms tangled, sort of spiraling out with fresh vitae leaking from one of them. They smash into the ground, and the one in the oversized army jacket sort of tuck and rolls, and like lumbers and staggers to his feet, and breaks out into like a run/sprint. Refresh my memory. Do you have celerity or no?
I have level 1.
Just okay. So you're quick, in other words.
Yeah.
But not like Vampire Armand turn on the light switch quick or whatever. So yeah, you start like sort of like your motions sort of like blur into this sort of like fluidity as you take off, and then the window frame and chunks of the wall and drywall come with it as the hulking form of the other shadowed figure busts out. We notice it now. The Coterie hasn't seen the description yet, or our camera, our audience's point of view hasn't seen the description yet, so I'll kind of say it again. Essentially this, quite frankly, this abomination standing 6-ish feet tall, but it's got a hunch to it that makes it look more imposing, and it could be larger if it could ever straighten its spine. It has these sort of petrified flesh barbs that stick and jut from its flesh, and its skin seems to be made of almost like a clay-like flesh that's been sort of equal parts melded and stitched together in sort of oblong and odd patterns of this sort of like melted clay, melted wax, disfigured form. It is wearing sort of simple robes and cloths tied with ropes and chains. It lumbers on the ground, and like Cass is losing it. Cass winds around an alley. You have some time between that thing and yourself. And Pix, I'm going to let you assume baddie, direct control. You're familius. And baddie isn't blood bonded, but she is, to sort of set the scene, she is loyal ultimately to Pix. There is no contestation in that. So bear that in mind with your decisions here. Baddie is aware that Cass is running into a trap when he thinks he's losing somebody. And we see this creature to the flank. Cass is in a residential neighborhood in a particular part of Milwaukee where all the houses are kind of built up on hills and all the sidewalks are down below them. There aren't really... The alleys are all in the back. There's no easy access to them through like fences and stuff like that until you get to the breaks in the block, and then you can turn down the street proper and head into an alley type thing, or you can jump a fence. In this particular scene, we have Cass sort of like up atop one of these hills, sort of like leap a fence, just sort of like serpentine into the alley, and he looks back. He's like, seems to be losing that hulking creature. And Baddie, with the gift of sonar, recognizes that a figure is just about to sort of spring upon Cass as he turns into this alley. As you gain agency over your character, Cass has agency over his, and we have an ambush that's maybe about to occur.
I think Baddie, she loves Pix. Cass is debatable, but he's important to her. Thompson's a manipulative fucker, so I think Baddie is going to swoop down suddenly, and Cass is just going to ear her. Hey, fuckwit, don't go into a dead end. Get out of here. Go somewhere public. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Just get.
With Cass alerted from these like subsonic eeps and vulgarities coming from this little brown bat, like flitting and like if there's like some random person like, you know, like just getting a glass of water at their sink and looking out, they just see like this little bat like flitting and circling and they don't hear anything. Cass is the one that hears the swearing and stuff like that as he's, you know, as they're tapping into the cobweb here. And you are going to get to roll initiative versus a very powerful Thompson, who's got the drop on you. Once again, composure and wits, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to allow the coterie. You're going to be at the bottom of the initiative as you're sort of closing the distance.
One success.
Pull up Thompson's PDF here. It's not a blow up, but Thompson does go first.
Oh no.
Baddie will go essentially on Cass's initiative with the coterie at initiative 0. Okay. And since you all go kind of simultaneously, we'll let you. You're going to take 3 rounds to get there as well, so you're going to have 3 rounds of preparation, banter, whatever, phone calling, coordination, etc., etc. With the exception of Jimmy, who's going to be there in 2 rounds, because again, this is his thing. Thompson still gets a drop on you. You do not count as surprised, however, because of the sheer vulgarity of this tiny little bat. So you will get a defensive action rather than Thompson rolling at defense 1. Thompson has now both feral weapons fully exposed.
Oh shit.
And no longer smoking the Slims, his favorite cigarette, and just like, really wasn't hoping to do this the hard way here, Casanova, he says, as he like goes and just basically just from out of a shadow, just these Slender Man, just elongated, unnatural looking claws swing by.
I got 3 for the defense.
Okay. All right. You manage to duck under him, and he takes a swipe out of the siding of this garage that you happen to be by. So you're in an alleyway. There's no lights on either side of it. And it's pretty much, you've got back toward the monster and through some yards and stuff, and you've got through Thompson. It's your turn.
Things always have to get ugly with you. Let's see. How fast could I climb something, like the side of one of these houses?
I mean, it's like you get on top of a garage, without like the various like talents or disciplines that allow you to climb well.
Is there like a dumpster? Can I like parkour this?
I'll allow it. Yeah. Which celerity do you have, by the way? Because there's one that's like actually like the parkour celerity ability.
I got the rapid reflexes. I got the one more for gun combat.
Right on. Yeah, you could do an acrobatics to make it quick.
Okay, so athletics, dex. I'll also surge this as well.
Okay.
No hunger.
It won't be easy, but you can do it. Uh-oh. Who did we lose?
Oh no, we lost Elizabeth. Or the names.
It's okay. Cass is the storyteller now.
6 successes with the surge.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't easy, but you managed to like get on top of this garage. You could make it to the roof, to the house. Like, I mean, you've got plenty of clearance. You even got some sort of movement to spare to sort of reposition, maybe grab your gun if you want, or if you brought some other toys.
Do I got any of those Dragonfire rounds?
I don't think you leave home without them.
Right.
Now, because it does bear some clarification, the books, I think, put Dragonfire rounds specifically to a specific type of thing. In Milwaukee by Night, they've been sort of retrofitted for various weaponries. It was already alluded to when Cass did his initial raid that he got an assortment of those rounds for various like small arms as well. Essentially, what they do is they just sort of do. They don't get the bonus from the gun they fire from. So, like if a gun is a +2 or whatever, you're not getting that bonus. You're just sort of straight rolling because the guns aren't designed to shoot, Dragonfire rounds. The fact that these ammunition have been repurposed for the guns, they can do it. So it's sweet because it's ag damage, but they're unwieldy and on bestial failures, they can melt the gun barrels and stuff.
And these ones are called Wyvern Fire rounds.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah.
Ooh, it is 2 wings and 2 feet.
We're gonna trademark that one. or Drake fire rounds, right? Like is it
Worm fire.
Worm fire rounds, yeah.
So Castle, he'll like switch out the clip and put one of those in.
Okay, yeah. So, all right, you parkour up and. All right. which brings us down to Batty, who goes along with Cass. This is the last moment Batty has her complete agency before something begins to happen.
Oh no.
No, Batty, no.
I think Batty actually will swoop down to where Cass is and make a squeak over at Thompson. Just, I gotta think this, because if I think what is going to happen is going to happen, I need it to be good. Yep, fine. Suck my cloaca, numbnuts. She'll shout at Thompson.
Someone clip that shit. As we bottom of the round is where we would see ourselves in the Coterie's perspectives, cutting through the various cars and the streets and stuff like that. But just as Batty sort of gets out that subsonic eep that someone with animalism definitely understood, especially from one of his bonded, Thompson looks up and his eyes go this intense sort of amber glow in the night. And we're going to have ourselves an animalism versus dementation off. As the cobweb that somehow implanted on Batty whiles ago when the weird Umbra stuff happened with Pixie and Cass. So Cass, your dementation, in this case dominate, dice pool, and a resolve versus his animalism resolve as you sort of arm wrestle for the will of Batty, scene to scene.
Oh man, I'm really glad I upped to dominate.
It's in this case, it's since dementation doesn't exist, it's just an amalgam power. We're using your dominate pool, but it's in the text of what's going on. It's the dementation specifically.
I don't get blood potency to this, do I?
You would get quote unquote half the dice to it.
So that's half of, which should be 1?
Yep.
Okay. That's only 1 success. I'll willpower that.
Willpower for Batty.
Willpower for Batty. Dicks out for Batty.
Yeah. it's Morbin time for Batty. That's only 2 successes.
Fantastic.
Total for 3.
Tie goes to players.
What?
I'll control the dice. Tie goes to play, and Thompson's a lot better with obfuscate than animalism. Just as just 3 animalism. So you just 3. You have this like Batty's like gets out this like expletive, this one final expletive as Thompson's sort of amber glowing eyes fixate on this bat and begins to like whisper, like she begins to hear whispers in Thompson's like sort of like sultry sort of Pacifico sort of voice type thing starts to like invade her mind. But then like the kaleidoscope of thoughts that is Cass's fractured identity is like sort of like it's like a Red Hot Chili Peppers video in the background of her, like she's backlit by that, and like this sort of sheer craze of it all sort of makes this juxtaposition where she's able to sort of like see the world between the two sort of clashing types of manipulation. And then we get the cut to the various cars and stuff like that. So we'll start with our guest vampire in the Audi. You know you're heading to this apartment. You don't know the state necessarily. You just know that there might be a fight. You can maybe continue some ambient conversation if you wish, or perhaps some disciplines or whatever it is. You've got 3 quote unquote turns in so many turns. We're now in like cinema mode. Like, you know, the vehicle arrives when we need to for the scene, quote unquote, and time is meaningless because we're just cutting back and forth through all the stuff.
I believe Jorvik can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Oh, we lost Charlotte again.
It does not like you. It's just doing this.
Thank you, Kicker. You're the best.
Oh, no.
We got that clip.
Before we get into this, it sounds like this is going to be violent, which I am totally down for. But anything do I need to be concerned about? Saying we don't want me to hurt anyone.
Yeah, don't hurt Francis. Like, keep it low-key. We don't need another blood hunt called on us.
What do you want me to...
As you could be with an axe.
I mean, it's a classic, so to speak.
Well, and don't hurt Cass.
I won't hurt the cute one, no. So if I capture this person that's causing Cass harm...
If you capture him, destroy him.
That sounds interesting. I haven't destroyed someone in quite a long time.
You know that vampires dealing final death to vampires can still be a no-no in camps. You know, there's... Vampires don't kill other vampires, right? Quote unquote.
But
that's how blood hunts get started.
Yeah. You know, under this, legally, I can't kill him. But nothing was said about performing Blood Eagle on him.
Blood Eagle?
Do you not know what a Blood Eagle is?
No, do enlighten me. And Pixie, I imagine she's looking out the window almost anxiously, habitually, as they approach the apartments.
You take someone, your person that you've conquered, and in order to give them the ultimate humiliation, take an axe and into their back and their spine.
We cut to a different car.
Yep.
So he goes
This is gonna get traumatized.
Pix, you're still bonded to Thompson.
I am.
Ben Sahar, what is Ben Sahar doing as they're winding their way towards this apartment? You know that you didn't trust the situation early. You were kind of wary of it before. Again, you don't know the state. You don't know that Thompson is there per se. An ambush seems likely, so on and so forth. What are you doing to prepare yourself? You've got a couple turns.
I'm just getting my sword and getting my sword prepared so maximum damage happens when I use it.
Blood on it. All right. So that's sort of turn 1. Salvatore, what's Salvatore do? Jimmy, like wearing a pair of like very expensive driving gloves, you know, with the fingers cut off and everything, you know, and Italian.
Yeah, I mean, Sal just starts kind of scanning the neighborhood, looking for. I mean, we're still in search mode. We know roughly where Cass may be, but
you've been to Francis's apartment before.
Yeah. So like looking for lay of the land, seeing if anyone's around. You know, just scoping first. And then, I mean, Sal's like physical reaction if it ends up being a fight. He's not sure what it'll be yet. Is very quick, so he would wait till he got out of the car to do any of that. But right now, it's try to get an understanding of what is the field of battle look like.
Area. All right.
Yeah.
You're gonna do 2 wits and awarenesses. We'll do a smaller skill challenge in your case. So I've got a target number of dice in mind. Okay. A number in mind. So you're going to roll once this turn, and then next turn you're going to roll again as you're sort of scanning and taking in the scene. You're sort of almost like triangulating type thing. And Jimmy says, boss, I've been thinking of something here. And we're going to leave that section of his speech until the next turn, because you're going to be there in 2 for him.
Okay.
How many successes did you get for Wits Awareness?
Yeah, so 4 dice. I had 2 successes the first roll, 2 on the second roll.
Okay. All right. Target number I set was 4 over 2 turns, so you will enjoy some. Options next turn. Which brings us back to the top of the line, Thompson. Thompson standing leaps onto the garage, bringing his. At this point, now he has this almost like bat-like image himself when his claws are fully extended as his sort of like 1950s carnival barker looking suit, tailcoat from his coat, like a little dilapidated and stuff like that, trails behind him. He almost looks like a bat, sort of basking in the moonlight as he brings these talons down toward Cass, who's on top of the garage. This feral leap, almost soar.
Two successes for the defense.
You did manage to heal from 4 full from the combat that was going on in the background, and as you torpid the one Nosferatu, and then used him as a parachute. You take 6 unhalved superficial damage as he cuts clean down chest and torso. These huge gashes all the way through your coat, splicing flesh.
All right. So I'm impaired now? It's because it's superficial, correct? All right. I guess I'll try to rouse that if I can.
Rouse to heal.
Yep.
Okay.
No hunger.
Heal 2 tracks.
All right.
Or at your potency, do you heal more?
I don't think at my potency I heal. I think that's
next up. All right. Yep. All right. So it's your go.
You got some nice tricks. They teach you all this at the carnival, and then Castle try to unload some dragon fire on this dude.
Drake fire. Totally different thing. We're not getting sued.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Kidding.
And this will be composure plus firearms?
Mm-hmm. You can do dexterity too if you're like doing like a quick draw type maneuver or trick shooting type maneuver.
That's 3 successes. I guess he would surge it.
All right. I'm a fan of the surge.
5 successes.
That will be 2 ag damage. Just straight up. As you basically like put one slug or one of these like dragonfire rounds like core into him. He's like sort of slashing into you, and you just like pull the gun out with this quip and just pow pow, like sort of shoot a couple controlled short bursts from a pistol type thing. And one of them manages to catch him in the gut, and you can see it sort of like illuminating and burning inside of his innards. Which means it's the struggle for baddie roll. So, animalism versus your dementation.
Oh boy.
Plus resolve.
Alright. It's 5 successes.
Beat him by 1. All right, Batty, you still have your wits about you. You haven't been pulled over to Thompson's dark side yet. What does Batty do or say?
I imagine her mind as this kaleidoscope with this smoldering darkness is going on. Her little bat brain, all she can think of is just, oh, not you greasy fucker. And she just bats over to, actually, she's going to take a little bit of a risk here. I think it's that love for Pixie, because if Pixie's her, she knew she would be absolutely just screaming in terror. She is going to flap over and jump onto Thompson's face and cover his eyes with her wings.
Whoa!
I want you to first roll a luck check. You cut out, you're muted or whatever.
Fuck me in the asshole. Okay, I'm gonna roll because it is sassier for the audience.
Okay.
1d10.
This has been a great episode.
Oh my god, that's a nat 1.
Okay, so this will put Batty in danger. I want to establish that.
Oh yeah.
I normally have a little bit of a buffer for pets and stuff. They get a little bit of plot armor. Batty is in danger doing this. Batty does it. It's a bat. It's like their specialty getting up in people's faces if they choose. So,
get your rabies shot, bitch.
And then we'll go ahead and do we have quick stats for? Let's use Pix's composure or resolve.
Yeah, because technically, when you make a famulus, it is a blood bond. It is an animal ghoul, so
yeah. So
Pix's composure and
whichever is higher between your composure or resolve, because I feel like this is almost like the spirit of Pixie fighting for herself a little bit.
Was it just composure?
Either or, whichever is higher.
Either or, gotcha.
And then you can add in either. Pixie isn't really like an athlete. Let's add them both together. In fact, let's do composure and resolve.
Hell yeah. Let's do this. Come on. 4 successes.
All right. Not only do you successfully distract this mofo, you managed to do 1 on 1 damage to him. As
Landed
just
right on
going
his
right for the
nose.
eyes and stuff like that, This brown bats are like the tiniest of bats too.
Oh yeah. I just imagine, you better not make me regret this, you fuckwit. Just
You should just swear at Cass and just gets all up in his face. All right, we're gonna remember that. We're gonna note that for next turn though. And then we get down to initiative 0, which is back at the Coterie. And so this is one of those like Jorvik finishes fully describing at length the visceral, gory details, and just like, and then like, so anyway, so we're back in the car with Jorvik, and like the just look of abject horror on Pixie's face as he's described doing this to her sire.
And then you kind of, at the end, you put them outside their village or home or town and hang them out like a marionette. It's absolutely fun. I've done it 175 times.
175, you said?
Yeah.
Wow. If vampires could pale, Pixie would be a sheet.
You not done anything with that?
No. I just, you're really creative, Jorvik. That's all. Yeah.
Thank you. It was part of the job.
Did you guys do any other crafts like basket weaving? That's what my people did. I learned that at my tribe's cultural center.
Yes, actually, yes. Somewhere back at the tower, there's some baskets that I have perfectly preserved. Don't ask questions, just know that they're there. And some people made them for me. Some of my loyal subjects did too.
That's really sweet.
Sera got again.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. See, the curse of my internet being shit is gone, but now it's passed on to Sera.
It's like the ring. You gotta show the bad internet to somebody else, and they get it.
No, after all that happened, and then I came here and um, you know, Columbus didn't discover shit. I remember
Know that? Trust me.
crossing the ocean in my ship and seeing what's Newfoundland now. It was beautiful, very cold, very
I
cold.
could only imagine.
And sailing along the coastline to what is today, New York, meeting the Algonquin. Really nice people, really nice people.
Shout outs to Akawa.
Yep. Also called. And I found out that the native people of this land were incredible people, and they welcomed me with open arms.
At that point, most of us didn't have any reason to be worried. See, I don't think you came across. I mean, you didn't happen to stop at a place called Naani, did you? Shiprock? Down south. Yeah,
Sounds familiar. Oh God.
that was my people's name for it. Or is still our name for it. Shiprock is the anglicized version, but Naani is what the actual name is.
And you're kind of like, I've heard that language before.
So,
You
go ahead.
indigenous.
Well, I mean, I don't look it now, but Diné Bizaad. That's the language of my people, and I am of my people. See,
Good.
Thompson, we met in New Mexico. I was working in Albuquerque, a little, Five Nights at Freddy's? Kind of like that, but different.
Yeah. So you are Diné.
I am.
Yatea.
Yeah, there's Yakis. Oh my gosh, that Attica, that just made me so happy. Oh my god. I may cry on stream. Oh my god.
Joe's a polyglot.
My heart.
That is, I have come across your people before.
Long before my time, admittedly, but who knows, maybe you met my great-great-great-great-grandma.
I remember helping some tribe move because there was a drought. It was safer for water.
Pixie? Your mind is on the beat of light from a dream you had a long, long time ago as you think of your grandma, as you have this conversation, as you hear your people's language. Holy shit. Is Athena playing on the radio right now? Just by happenstance. Philip just happens to have like the 102.1 on the radio, and Athena's their latest single, the one they were touring on, sort of back of. Sarah must have put in a word with somebody there, because they weren't like radio, mainstream radio or anything like that really. But here's their single, and you're having this weird conflict of emotions. There's this fog around your thoughts and fondness and love. Oh my God, you're so in love with Thompson.
It's obsessive. It feels like it was my whole world. I almost forgot about Misane and
But
home.
Now there's this light in there too. Home, your family, your language. It's like there's like a static. It gotta be because Thompson's real, right? All that other stuff that's just a distraction. It's static. And as you focus a little on that, as you focus on just Athena's music, just is like a catalyst. It just kind of becomes nebulous, nothing emotion, pumped straight into you, and you're able to kind of the word is just awe, like awesome, that not to be broken down and lose all of its meaning because it's been overused, but full of awe. And you're remembering some of yourself. You're remembering the line between you and Thompson, just a shred. Something what Elizabeth said back in the Club Anything is in there too, and there's just enough of a fault, maybe, and then we're in Sal's truck. See, I was thinking of getting a haircut there, boss. Thinking, something a little bit more, free. He says, little, something with a little texture. He goes on to describe the haircut he had in the first
Party in the back.
couple sessions.
For the ladies.
I think that would be a good look, Jimmy.
It's like, yeah, 'cause before I get promoted, I want to make sure I get promoted in something I want to wear. Something timeless.
Also, I want to apologize because I think my accent was really bad.
All right, it makes me feel better. When I first started learning, I was so fucking bad. There is recorded evidence of me saying Diné, Mesani, but it is completely fine. See, it's bad if I do it, but it's fine if other people do it because I got it.
I probably chopped that up really badly.
You did it. It took me an entire fucking language course, and I'm still learning to do it. That was great. Personally, I am so touched. Seriously, that was my best moment in gaming. Oh my God.
Amazing. Where's Kicker on the clipping of that?
Yeah, where's the touching indigenous?
Yeah, where's the super
Nordic
indigenous moment? Yeah, where's the clip? Yeah.
He'll get it. Kicker's the best.
Yeah, Kicker. He's currently scrubbing the feeds right now. All right. Sal, you've had your skill challenge. You are in Francis's neighborhood, and you see what I can only describe as an abomination. Sort of just jump between street and into the alleyway, and all the street lights in this entire area just happen to be off, as if the grid is just a little bit faulty here tonight.
Seeing that, if Jimmy didn't, Sal will direct him.
Jimmy's busy talking about his hair. And driving very well.
Pull over that alley now.
The classic sort of half crescent lining you up directly up with the alleyway.
I mean, Sal doesn't have celerity, but he doesn't need a car to stop moving before he's willing to open that door and start moving. So as Jimmy is bringing it to a stop, Sal's out and rousing the blood for his tree claws if he sees this strange abomination.
So this thing notably also doesn't have celerity. It's quick, but it's somewhere between animalistic quick and human quick. And its bulk slows down what could be a much faster creature.
So rouse the blood for the claws. Success, so I don't get hungrier. Sal will growl directions to Jimmy. If you see Cass, get him to this address. And leave the phone or whatever behind.
The address will be forthcoming.
Or yeah.
She's
so retcon. Temporary, a temporary safe house. I'm sure Sal has a place.
You got a couple places.
The butcher shop, the convenience store, wherever.
Yeah, you've got a couple really properties that are good for laying low. Couple days anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, you mentioned that. That's kind of your turn. You're entering.
Yeah.
You've now officially entered combat. That's the second round there. We're going to see. Ben Sahar is driving when Ben Sahar gets a phone call. Ben Sahar sees, distantly, a few blocks ahead, he sees the Escalade or they see the Escalade pull over, right? And then their phone rings, and we don't see who's on the other end of the phone. But we see a very startled look in Ben Sahar's face. And they sort of like ease off the gas and begin to turn away from Francis's neighborhood. I'm gonna have to use one of my grab bags of tricks to explain why Ben Sahar would not help out the party immediately on that one. All right, which brings us back to the top of the line with Thompson, who is now distracted by Batty. Thompson is going to, that 4 dice I told you to remember, going to take that as a penalty against what he does, but Batty will be flung clean from the scene in the process.
Oh.
We do not do on-screen violence towards aminals, so we see Batty just kind of like flit off, and Pix gets the image from Batty's perspective of a very angry, like, Thompson in a way she's never seen before, and feels the harm on her familiars.
Yeah, I think anyone looking at her, like maybe Jorvik through like the mirror, would just see Pix's eyes just widen, maybe like her mouth. No.
It's as if he harmed you directly in this moment, and it's this final thing that sort of like shatters, and we can hear this operatic vocals sort of in the background as Athena reaches the sort of crescendo of the song, and as all these different threads and chaos almost begin to go discordant, not harmonious. There's so much wrong and out of sorts right now. There's so much that doesn't make sense, and Pix can't make sense of where she fits in all of it right now. She thought it was with Thompson, but this look on his face.
He would never. Why could I? No. Are we near to those apartments yet?
Meanwhile, Thompson at a heavy penalty will go to slash at Cass. Now, Cass, you're in melee range with Thompson. You can forego your sort of defensive dice and roll your offensive dice to sort of Rochambeau. And if you beat, you hit him. If he beats you, he hits you.
Is this just brawl, or can I use my grappling die on
You
this?
can shoot him. You can.
I can shoot him. Oh, all right. Yeah, tight.
Unload into this motherfucker. She says as if she didn't make this character purposely to inflict pain upon my character.
That's I only got 2 successes. We'll willpower that. 4 successes.
You're going to do 3 ag damage to Thompson.
Whew.
Let me check character sheet of Thompson here real quick. He's not, like, I mean, he's pretty stacked, but he's like Nosferatu all Nos can throw down in combat pretty handily. They're just on a natural track for that, but he's not optimized for it. He's optimized for other stuff, so.
Doesn't like to get his hands dirty.
No, he doesn't.
For being a dick.
I didn't expect that to happen.
Oh no.
Oh, just wait.
He falls off the garage in torpor.
Damn, dude.
Like, he's bringing that claw down. Cass, seeing Batty kind of flung out of frame, just empties the clip, and we just get the muzzle flashes, like, from the side angle, and we see that hand kind of begin to come down, and then just sort of like rests on Cass's shoulder, and he's staring at you, and he's like, This ain't over, kid. Sorry. He's up here. This ain't over, kid. Hey, far from over. He falls like into the dumpsters below, and like he doesn't land in it because the angles aren't right. Sorry, he bounces and crumples off to the side, and he's like laying there. I think it's about this time that y'all pull into the other side of the alleyway. Salvatore has sort of stopped this abominacious charge toward Cass. You're not out of the worst of it, but you know what? Let's do the horror movie thing since we're kind of running low on time here. We just hear like the nasty sounds of like flesh being torn asunder, and we see we see the shadows on the wall from like some trouble lights or something like that of this like horrid, just monstrous, somewhere between the Thin Man and a tree ant. We just see like silhouetted as we see this just this ichor spill out, and we see like one of these sort of petrified flesh barbs like still attached to like like a limb kind of skitter into the alleyway, and then we see like the tree ant weird huge gnarled form kind of come back into the rough shape of a stout man who rounds the corner straightening his like jacket. Like steps over the limb, and we see Salvatore having taken care of the whatever that hulking protean beast thing was, and the coterie has reconvened all around Cass, who's like holding Batty in his hands,
and Thompson is on the ground.
Thompson's on the ground, and Batty is breathing.
Oh, thank God. Batty, Pix immediately rushes through. Like, I think she sees Cass. There's that, like, eye contact moment. Immediately just hugs him. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I thought it was going to be fine. Batty, oh my God, are you okay? I mean, I know you're not, but, like...
Cass will, like, hold Batty up to Pix. He'll do, like, the one-armed embrace and then hold...
Yeah, that awkward, like, arm hug. Like, within a moment, Pix is just gingerly taking her, extends a claw, cuts her palm, and just starts gently dripping it into her mouth so she can start healing up. But I'm going to back out because a lot of this has been me tonight.
So as Pixie resumes, as Pixie's in the scene and we have Batty here, Batty looks up at you and says, "I got him for you, little sis."
Yeah, he did.
I got him. Well, that fucker helped too. Looks over at Cass.
I'm getting you so many super worms when we go home. Gourmet ones, not the ones off Amazon.
I'm gonna nap. I'm normally super active at night, like really fucking awesome. This is my time, but I'm gonna nap.
And with another word, Pix will just pop her into her pocket.
While that's going on, I'm going to turn to Jorvik and say, "Hand me an axe." Or more like, "Toss me an axe."
Philip comes up with the attaché case over shoulder. The vehicles have sort of like cordoned off the either side of the alley. Salvatore's on one side, with the rest of the coterie sort of gathered to the other. Pix and Cass in the middle, and Thompson a little bit off to the side on what would be a parking slab beside the garage, the most heavily shadowed area. In fact, when Sera grabs this axe, the shadows seem almost impenetrable, unnaturally thick.
So what I want to do, pop prowess, and cut his fucking head off.
Damn.
Fucking doom in the asshole. I've heard stories of him. Elizabeth has told her stories. I know what this bastard's up to. And more than once, Sal has gone on fucking tirades on this asshole. So let's not leave any of this to chance. Fucking take him out.
Storyteller! Yeah. With my blood bond, would I sense this and go to defend him?
Pix? I'm going to leave it up to you.
Oh, shit.
I think it's that second sense that the blood bond brings within you. And it is almost unconscious that Pix leaps in front of the blade and would take that blow. Like, it is just...
Cass is holding you.
I'm freaking out! No, I'm gonna roll straight!
Nope.
So Pix indeed lunges. Cass's one-armed sort of awkward hug becomes a restraint.
No, little bat.
No, don't kill him, Sarah, please. No, we need to bring him to the prince. The prince,
Just
please.
a quick shink. I don't think Sera can be dissuaded.
No.
And without
Yeah.
the powers of his blood, with the dragon fire burning in his belly, his head rolls off, and we see ashes, cinders even. They're like all the like glow, like the charcoals and the embers inside of the bottom of a grill pit, come flitting out as Sera turns and looks her sister in the eyes. What does Sera say?
Had to be done.
The clarity, I imagine. It's like being dunked into cool water. Pix I think Cass just feels her stop struggling. She goes limp, just staring as the rose-colored glasses have been taken off.
You remember his face from the perspective of Batty, and that like justification for him melts away as his ashes disperse into the air.
It's so similar to that shit. I'm reminded of the security cameras back in Albuquerque. He was always a monster. And I think Pix says that aloud.
Now you can fly, little bat.
Jorvik will approach this scene.
Jorvik's just seen some shit. Just
Yeah.
woke up. Like, and that is, I mean, talking about bloodhounds, cold-blooded. Sera just murked this dude.
Would you say ruthless?
I would say ruthless, yeah.
Oh, well. But, Pat, I guess he fucked around and found out.
More than once.
So, my sweet child, you will need a lot of guidance. You're welcome to come back to York anytime to talk to me about Kindred business.
And we can call it there.
Sal has a twinkle in his slate black eyes, having seen Sera
That's
just
my girl!
behead Thompson.
That was so like it's off screen. Salvatore receives the safe house coordinates from a literal crow made out of complete shadow.
Ah, fucking cool. That's why she's so cool.
Has Raphael found anything yet?
Oh yeah, well, Rough is so like I figure we'll finish up your guest spot next week because we got to have so that would be climax, sort of like into the act 3 or the act 2 climax. The question is now as ST, I have to raise the stakes on that if I'm following proper narrative. Like
I better date Cthulhu. I better date whoever's in Emily.
And so now I have a week to figure out how I wrap up this guest stint with the thin blood stuff, the blood hunt, the I don't know if you picked up on it, Pix, but your sire might have been Spot.
I was actually gonna ask him that after the whole Pixie thing, but he kind
Might have
of,
been in the subtext in there somewhere.
He did talk about joining us, like the last time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had suspicions. A
So
little.
I have a quick question too. Like, with that being said, the final death of him attacking a member of the Camarilla, because I think Cass is like
Still Camarilla. The Blood
Yeah.
Hunt wasn't announced yet.
like
And the
there were rumors
citizen.
of it, and
And
the
he is a
citizen of
citizen.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And Pix,
So
now
this-
free the bond, will be able to testify.
Yeah, so this in Sal's eyes is, we don't even have to cover this up. This was a crime that we dealt with appropriately.
Oh, if only things in Milwaukee by night were that simple.
Well,
Yeah.
what about the golem?
Why don't one of you pick up his ashes and put it in a nice baggie?
Oh no, he's a doggy bag. He doesn't deserve that shit. Fuck you.
Was anything of Thompson's left behind?
I'll get a bag from like dumpster. If there's any.
Or like, does everything become ash, or is like possessions left behind?
He's got like a nice little onyx ring there.
Yeah, fuck it. Sal picks that up.
Also, I imagine that he had like just something that he had stolen from Pixie from her first embrace as kind of like a punishment.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
in the-
some-
'cause,
like a
like, her embrace was
necklace or
very
like
savant, yeah.
like a tiara or something like that. Like something,
Yeah.
some trinketry. Yeah,
It's like a little
maybe
necklace
something
with
Diné related, like
Yeah.
to really help isolate her from her identity.
oh
Because
man,
that's like
yeah,
what
it
cults
is.
do is they try to like break your identity first. Like they
Oh,
change
definitely.
your name. They,
He's a
Let me
real
find a
bastard.
picture of my own beadwork. Actually,
Real bastard.
oh,
Does
he
Sal
was.
have a jewelry
I
guy,
didn't
Andrew?
expect him to get taken out, but when you risked Batty and rolled the 4 dice, you gave Cass the opportunity to do that. So I want you to. That was like it was a very. I just think it was a very important scene. It was very good.
I was not expecting that at all.
same.
Again, he's not stacked to fight, but he can vanish in plain sight. So it wasn't supposed to come like like when the Coterie was going to show up, he's going to do this.
Yeah, I put it in player schemes, but that is some beadwork that I've been working on. But I imagine that was in his pocket.
I can come back. I'll be here actually on time because I don't have a venue, so I can be here on the dot.
So
Yay!
so next week let's plan on a session that has that 1 extra hour. There we go. This is what Thompson has on him. The stream can actually see this right now.
Yeah, that's my beadwork. I made it myself.
Fantastic.
Pretty.
I want to see.
I put in player schemes.
You have the family tag. You should be able to see it in player schemes.
I'm new to it. I'm not using the fancy beads yet because I'm just starting out. But it's a necklace I made for my grandma.
Beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So I was gonna.
So you,
I want you to know, Thompson obviously wasn't working alone, and Thompson wasn't the head of the snake. But I didn't anticipate that either.
Oh, I was planning for that the entire time.
Such a heel turn moment for Sera too.
Right?
love
Or
this.
not like
and
heel turn, but like definitely like that was the steel chair out of nowhere, right? Like that was
Sarah with the steel chair.
so good.
Once again, if she hadn't,
I thought for sure we were gonna diablerize him.
It was
Yeah,
Jorvik is pleasantly surprised. Jorvik is pleasantly surprised.
I think it was way better that Sera was the one that chopped his head off.
Al just has this
Salvatore.
proud papa. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like now it's just he is so proud, so very proud.
That's my goil.
I was thinking, can I combine a whole bunch of disciplines at once to get in there quick? Because if he was distracted, going to try and use celerity to get in there faster. What is it? Not Cloak of Shadows. What is the other one? The
Unseen Passage.
Unseen passage, yeah.
Passage.
You can actually step
nope.
through shadows too as a
Silence of Death.
House of Death.
You just
So
don't
getting
know.
it, running in there closely, potentially using brutal feed, like
Oh wow!
You thought through this.
You wanted
Scheming.
death.
It's
You
funny.
wanted death, not by Snoo Snoo.
It's funny
You wanted
because it's funny because like I don't Elizabeth I don't think would have been as merciless or what's the word? What's that word? Ruthless?
Ruthless. She wouldn't have been so quick with the blades.
Yeah,
I mean,
she would've
literally.
turned it into a poker chip. Like that becomes like a,
Like,
this.
hey, buddy. Like, he's gonna wake up in
Yeah.
Pix's place all tied up with a bow. Like, you owe me, heart.
like a stake in the chest or something like that. Use it to trade. But like the finality of it, and Pixie now free, which is cool. But again, as a storyteller, as a trained writer and storyteller, I have to raise the stakes from that scene next week somehow.
Wedding planning with Lisa.
So, Abby, when you were talking earlier about being like evil and doing like all these dark things, I told Ty real quick. I was like, every time I hear her say Pix is evil, I imagine Pix is like, ha ha, I left the lid off the mayonnaise. Suffer fools.
But that's how you get food poisoning. You see, it starts a whole like domino effect. Someone gets food poisoning from the potato salad because this is a white people picnic, and then next thing you know, a senators. I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
That was funny. At the last powwow I was at, actually, we did have a stand that was by people who are not from our tribe, and one of the things they had was potato salad. I'm like, beautiful culture. Yeah, but a senator gets food poisoning from the poisoned potatoes, and world domination. That's how it works.